Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
I am so happy. Oh, you baby boomers didn't raise anybody up right. Because if you did, I would have had to been working a real job. Thank God. God bless America. God bless America. Hi, Aaron. I want to thank you for your book, Worthless. It helped me find a way to get a college degree that isn't worthless without going into debt. I've come close to doubling my salary since I graduated in December 2017, thanks in part to the advice contained within Worthless, which the book, like right here, by golly, doobie dabby, there you go. So he spent, what, $12.95, and he doubled his salary. Well, I'll just be... tickle me, Clary. With that being said, I got a dilemma on my hands in regards to an interview I just signed up for today. The facts are these. I like my current workplace's culture. They respect my time outside of working hours. I just started only 6 months ago. The pay is decent, but about $20,000 less than what I would make at the prospective workplace. I was in my previous job for only 9 months, but I'm doing different things here than I was at the previous job. The current commute is about 20 to 30 minutes. The prospective commute would be 50 to 1 hour 5. Oh, boom, done. Right? No. No. That is not worth... Hang on. Let's do some math. Let's figure out what you're... Okay, so it's an extra... It's an extra 30 minutes. Basically, 30 times 2. Hang on, let me do this a different way. Okay, so 0.5 hours times round trip equals an hour a day. Times 5 days a week times 50 weeks a year. Because you get some vacation. That's 250 hours. So that $20,000 divided by 250. What do we get? $80 an hour? That still isn't worth it. That is not worth it. I don't even know if I did that. Did I do that right? It just doesn't seem right. Hang on. 50 weeks times 5 hours. Yeah, it's not. I'd still say it's not worth it. No. Nope. It's not worth it. Even at $80, it's not worth it. Because you got to subtract out what would you be making anyway. I mean, what's your time? I wouldn't do it. No. An hour commute one way. No. That's just me, but no. I'd be doing different things at a prospective job than I am at my current job. I have 2 questions. Do you think it would be smart to do the interview, or should I just cancel, say I'm happy where I'm at? That's what I would do. I mean, they got to make it worth it. And here's what they got to pay you. I mean, if we're going to look at a financial perspective, are you going to pay me enough to risk giving up a job I like, to risk doing a job that you lie to me about, to risk a boss and a culture that is not going to jive with me what the current one already does? And are you going to pay me on top of all that, whatever that price is, the extra money it's going to cost me to get an apartment nearby and my moving costs? No? Go fuck yourself. Which is from Tropic Thunder. No. No, sir. So I would call him, say, thank you very much, but I'm happy where I'm at. And when is it acceptable to change jobs if you've recently changed again? I have recruiters contacting me frequently such that I think I understand attractive 18 to 25-year-old women's perspective a little better. It'd be nice to have some guidelines for when it is acceptable to bail on a job. I've already completed one of their coding assessments, so they've scheduled an on-sign interview for Monday. Please let me know the cost of it. All right, so I said, look, you're asking me 2 questions. One in your individual situation, which I already told you no. And then in general, where'd it go? Do you think it's smart to do it? And when is it acceptable to change jobs if you've recently changed again? Have recruiters contact me. All right. My general guiding principle is that you are a whore. And if they pay you enough money, not just to be worth your time, but to compensate you for risk and all the other variables I mentioned, your individual case is a good example, is it now worth it for me to leave? They got to give you an offer you can't refuse. And that's how you get ahead, especially in your field if you're in IT and in a booming economy. Well, not a booming economy, there's a difference. We're in a tight labor market. We're not in a booming economy. The last booming economy we had was the late 90s. That's a truly booming economy. But they have got to give you an offer you can't refuse. And then once you get it, you can't refuse it. Then you go to your boss and say, "Boss, I'm sorry, I got an offer I can't refuse." And you look at it, like, yeah, I understand. I wouldn't refuse that either. But the underlying principle is that you are a whore. You are going for all the money, right? Whoever treats you best. And in tight labor markets like this, yeah, it's kind of common. Like if they don't pay you market, if they're not going to pay you what you can get, if they cannot remain competitive, you have every right to abandon your employer. Right? Every right. For the most part, in most reasons, is because most employers suck. Most employers are liars. Right? So this is like going to cover 95% of it. So you should have no loyalty to your employer because most employers have no loyalty to you. So you're always on the hunt for the money. This is why I always say you damn well better have, like you got a lawyer, an accountant, you get a recruiter. And you tell your recruiter, here are the lists. Here's what I require for an offer I can't refuse. If this ever comes across your table, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry job that comes across your table, this 6 figures, this benefit, telecommute, the one I can't refuse, if that ever comes across your desk, you contact me. And the recruiter say, okay, cool, I know, and I'll contact you if something like that. So you got that person working for you. If you want, you could always be applying for jobs on the hustle on the side. Where was I going with this? Oh, but this is operating from the principle and the premise that your employers suck. And all employers, for the most part, suck. Except the rare instance where you have this now. And this is where it changes things. I always say a good boss is worth 1/3 of your salary. Right? I rarely quit a job for any reason other than my boss was an incompetent, not a dickhead, I can handle dickheads, but was an incompetent fucking moron, right? It's the only real reason I ever quit any job. If you got a boss that you work well with, add 30% to your current salary. That's really what you're getting paid right now. Because you're not dealing with the psychological bullshit. You're not dealing with the sadism. You're not dealing with the contradictory orders. You're not dealing with, you need to hit the ground running. I don't have time. I want this done. Well, then I need these resources. I don't have those resources. You got to figure it out. You're not a team player. Maybe that's on its way out. I don't know. I haven't worked in the real world in a long ass time. But if you get a boss that's really good, that's worth at least 30%, I'd say, of your salary. Right, that's just a rule of thumb. So you don't want to abandon a good thing, one in the hand versus two in the bush. You got a great working corporate culture, that's another huge benefit. You're doing what you were told you were going to do, like you're actually gaining experience, that's huge. And so even though you may get a lot more money, you're risking these very valuable and very rare things. That, especially if this is your second job out, those are very rare to come across. And so even though you may get an offer you can't refuse in terms of money, the non-financial benefits of working at your current job, namely a good boss, good working culture, and you're actually gaining real-world experience, that outranks it. It's not worth giving that up just for some money, because I've done that before where I got offered a lot more money to go work for this. Not that my current job was great either. They all pretty much suck, so I was ready to go anyway. And I got there, I'm like, you guys are even more psychopathic than the previous guys. You guys are fucking nuts. And I think that boss, when I did that, he ended up getting jail time. It was great. Oh, so great. But neither here nor there. In your individual case, you have to weigh these non-financial benefits very heavily. And I would almost overweight them than underweight them. Because what you don't want to do is go work for a job that's going to pay you a lot of money and you only work there for 3 months because they lied to you, they're psychopaths, they're crazy. This is where things like Glassdoor, boss reviews, I think there's some websites out there review different people's bosses, different companies to work for. I know it's tongue-in-cheek or not, it's not maybe 100% accurate, but at least it's something to go on. Find people who worked at that company in that division. You can do that now with the internet. Hey, what was it like working? Do you know what it's like working for this guy? Oh, is that so? All right, well, maybe not. But in general, if you're being treated as the average corporate employee, fuck your corporate employee. Fuck your employer. You go where the money is. Fuck them, fuck that. I don't care if you're there for 3 months. Someone comes along with a much better offer, like you're like, yeah, okay, I'll go with you. Say, yeah, too bad, I got an offer I can't refuse. But in the rare instances, and I mean 5% of the time, you get a good boss where you could work there and you could get promoted and work your way up, and they're being fair and treating you honest and good, then I would, not that they deserve loyalty, but you are likely not going to find that again. And that's where I would strongly recommend that you consider staying. If you want a formula, okay, your boss is a 30% increase in pay, good, reliable coworkers, another 10%. Doing what you said they said we were going to do, that's 25%. So 55% extra compensation if you're looking for a number. That's how much I value those things. I don't really care about coworkers. They never really bothered me that much. Ironically, I always got along with my coworkers. But a boss and doing what you're supposed to be doing, you said you're going to do, that right there is half your damn salary as far as I'm concerned. All right, that's it. Questions, answers. AssholeConsulting.com, where I, America's older brother and the world's only professional asshole, will guide you and put you kids in the right direction. If you have other questions but you're afraid to ask, there's a ton of great books that I've written. You can find them in the links down below. If you look at the links down below, you see books, there's the link. Podcast, there's the link. Older brother, there's the link. And all that other good shit. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.